Good morning, business builders. Welcome to Business for Breakfast, where business is the most important meal of the day. I'm your host, Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, otherwise known as VBG. Our goal in this show is to make you 1% smarter today by unpacking business news over the last 24 hours, sprinkle with tips and tricks to help you mind your own business. Now, I know you guys, I think you're here for me, but I know you're not. You're never here for me. You're here for the morning mark. Justin, how's my audio? How's my video? Give me it. Give me it. It's like a minute delay, so it'll come in a second. All right. Before I do the morning mark, I'm going to wait for Justin to come in and tell me I'm good because you need to hear this. Today, you got to hear it. There it is. 100. Okay, we are in. You are here for the morning bar. Mark, no props required, no drinks, no gear, just you and a functioning brain. We'll work with what we've got. Wherever you are, desk, truck, kitchen, job site, standing or sitting, it doesn't matter. Pick one thing you will finish today. Not a list, not 10, not three, one. Now mark it mentally and write it down. That is the line in the sand. That's the thing the day doesn't get to erase. This is the pause that sharpens the edge, the moment that turns noise into signal, the tiny act that makes business owners dangerous in a good way. That, my friends, is your morning mark. Your day is officially started. Now, while you drive, let's dive. All right. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Now, you guys know that my favorite part of the show is always hold on, I've got to do a little recording here. I always forget this, man, every time. All right, there we go. Okay, before we jump into our juicy news, which is going to be flippity flip juicy, I need to hit us with a little this day in history, and I have you to need to know this. It is going to kind of blow your mind. There are some amazing things that happened this day in history. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for this day in history? First of all, you guys know that today is one of the luckiest or unluckiest days of the year. Why? Because it's Friday the 13th. Oh, by the way, fun fact for you. In 2020, I was driving my RV from the storage place to its repair place, which was like 20 minutes away, and got into a accident, and it was pouring rain, and that was one of the worst days ever, and that happened to be Friday the 13th. Yes. So, guess what though? You're going to have a great day. That's right. Just make sure there's no broken glass or mirrors and or black cats around you. Cool. All right. Now, this day in history, I'm quite positive that the rest of these February 13th were not on a Friday, but let's roll, shall we? Oh, on this day in history, 1946, ENIAC unveiled the world's first general purpose electronic digital computer. It stood for Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer, formerly dedicated at the University of Pennsylvania. It was a massive machine occupying 1,800 square feet and capable of solving complex calculation problems at speeds previously thought impossible. 1946. So look at this. 1946, 50, 25, 70, 80 years ish. Okay. We went from 1,800 square feet of space to do things a little quicker than a human to this that fits in the back pocket that's, I don't know, maybe 100 times, maybe a 1,000 times faster. If you don't think technology advances at the speed of light, play, are you crazy? Okay. What else happened on this day in history? Ooh, February 13th, 1837. On this day in history, the very first U.S. patent for a locomotive. William Norris received the first American patent for a locomotive steam engine. This breakthrough helped fuel the rapid expansion of the American Railroad, a precursor to the logistical network you track in business history today, which is freaking amazing. Let's see. What else is going on? No way. No freaking way. Okay, this day in history, 1635, the first public school in America. Yeah, 1635, like 1776. So 140 years ish before we were found as a country. Okay, The Boston Latin School was founded. It is the oldest existing school in the United States and counts several signers of the Declaration of Independence among its freaking former students. What the rizzle drizzle? Could you even possibly just, I want you to close your eyes, not while you're driving, okay? But I want you to go back to you in middle school. Okay, I know exactly where I was in fourth grade when I was watching the Space Shuttle Challenger grow up or blow up, and I was sitting right next door or right next to my girl crush in fourth grade. And I remember exactly what was going on. I remember all the students, everything. Can you go back to elementary school in your mind and just imagine that you're hanging out with some of the people that signed the freaking Declaration of Independence? Like, could you just even fathom like the street cred that you have of basically saying like, yeah, like, like these guys are like besties, man. We hang all the time. Hold on, I got his phone number right here. Like I can speed dial the dude. I'm not kidding, bro. Or I'll call if you want. I'll FaceTime him right now. He'll answer. He'll answer. I mean, you want Davis? Okay. Like, all right. I mean, you want Franklin? Hold on, I got him right here. 2 seconds. FaceTime. There he is. You can see him wearing his white fake hair. Because he's bald up top. You know how Ben is. All right. What else happened this day in history? France becomes a nuclear power with a successful test in the Algerian desert. France becomes the fourth country in the world to possess nuclear weapons, joining the US, Soviet Union, and the UK. Yep, the UK. We call that duck. Come on now. You're going to have a little laughs in the morning, bro. It's too early, man. It's too early, right? What else? Oh, famous birthdays. Come on, people. Chuck Yeager, 1923. This dude, literally first human to officially break the sound barrier, 1947, flying the Bell X-1. Yeager, dude, goes down in history. You guys know my pilot's license. I am obsessed with aviation, and these old guys are just, they're cut different, bro, because especially when they were test pilots, because it was a pretty good chance that they weren't going to come back. Like, I want you to hear me. Like, it was a pretty good chance. That's insane. Like, imagine somebody just goes to work and there's a pretty good chance they're not coming home. Like, that is a test pilot back in the day. Okay. Another famous birthday, which, let's be honest, this dude, mind bending, Peter Gabriel. Yes, the infamous freaking singer that we all grew up listening to in the 80s and 90s. Okay. The amount of Edge Fests and Lollapaloozas that I went to and saw my boy, Peter Gabriel. And just go to Spotify, just go to YouTube and just listen to this dude's magical voice. Peter, this Good Friday is for you, sir. You, my friend, changed millions and millions of lives with your music. Thank you. Today's theme, if you can't tell, every Friday is Good Friday. And the theme today is just thankfulness and gratitude. That's it. And so you're going to hear me say this a million times today. Thank you. Okay. What else is going on in history? On this day in history, 2019, the Opportunity rover mission was declared over. So after 15 years on the surface of Mars, the NASA officially declared the mission of the Opportunity rover done. Okay. Which is insane that literally we sent something to Mars. 90 days later on a red planet, we're able to control this thing with a freaking remote control, like like an antenna, like you're like, no, go left, right, no, but remember it's reverse. You have to go right on your thumb drive, but it's actually going to make it go left. Like, could you just even fathom? Like, can you even understand the tech that is used to communicate and control something that is like, I don't know, like a billion miles away? Like, it's insane. Okay. What else is going on today? Is National Tortellini Day. Yes. If you're looking for a high protein dinner that still feels like a celebration, a bowl of cheese or meat stuffed tortellinis might be that perfect post-training meal for you lifters. So go get you a bowl of tortellini today, because guess what? It's Tortellini Day. So go visit your latest, closest Le Madeleine, La Panera, and get you some tortellini. Alrighty. Now, before we jump into our amazing, delicious, juicy news, I do need to really quick just read a microscopic disclaimer for you guys, because we all know we talk business every second of the day. But you guys understand, I don't hold any securities licenses. Okay. So this show is for educational and entertainment purposes only, and obviously does not constitute any financial recommendations. I'm here to help you run your biz like a Fortune CEO, not manage your portfolio. Now it's time for some juicy news. Juicy news. Juicy news. Come on, people. I know it. I know it. I know you guys are ready for the juicy news every day. I know you are. But, and again, it's not me saying that juicy news isn't important. But what is important though is that you guys go from thinking to actually doing. Okay. And you guys hear me say this all the time. The definition of success is 25% planning and 75% execution, right? So routine is the key and consistency sets you free. Now, because of that, I want you guys to remember that we are here to help you build your routine and help you be consistent. We're the only accounting firm on earth that is accounting plus accountability. So we're the only accounting firm on earth that has open source peer advisory groups for you because we are big believers that things that change your life should not be behind a freaking paywall. It is not okay that literally these type of things are like this and you can't get access to it unless you're like in a certain club. Yeah, that ain't okay. So you, starting today, are able to be and have your own board of directors, your own executive council, the team that you can go to. And I'm in my own peer advisory group. We met yesterday, and all of us are working on our own goals. It's really amazing seeing all the individuals that are on the call, men and women, because the purpose of a peer advisory group literally is to give you clarity. So they're like 12-week sessions, and the whole purpose is to help you identify what are your priorities and then break it down into bite-sized chunks where every week this team is, the second part of this is holding you accountable. So clarity is number one, accountability is number two, and then the third thing, which in my opinion is probably the most important thing, is they help you minimize mistakes, especially the ones that cost us freaking money. Okay, so if you want information about being in one of our peer advisory groups, again, you don't have to be one of our customers, and they're always free, open source to you. um, or if you have questions about accounting, bookkeeping, taxes, I got an idea for a business, whatever it is, doesn't matter. You can hit us up two ways, businessforbreakfastradio.com. Submit a question. I'll reply back to you directly or answer it on air. And one of my favorite things, you guys know Tactical Tuesday. I build a service business for under $1,000, and we talk shop on Tuesday. So that's one of my favorite things to do. So if you guys have questions about biz, just bring it up and we'll talk about it on Tuesday. And also, if you want to talk to me directly, go to speakwithaaron.com. That's speakwithaaron.com. That's aaron.com. You get access to me and you can schedule a time to talk to me about anything you want to talk about, including how horrible the Cowboys are. Now, let's move on. Okay. So, what else is going on or what is in the news today? I want to start with something that Arnie posted on X in the last week. Okay. Here's his quote. Okay. And tell me if this does not hit. Okay. I want you to think about this. This is Arnie talking. You had the energy when you were training. You stopped, and now you don't. You can't beat physics. An object in motion wants to stay in motion. An object at rest wants to stay at rest. This is why people who train have more energy, even when they have to drag themselves around. Every rep tells your body and your mind who you want to be. You get to choose whether your reps are sitting and scrolling or squatting and doing push-ups. Don't even think about this as in working out. Okay. This ain't that. This is teaching you that the things that change your life are so simple to do, that more often than not, we just don't do them. But you have to understand it's what activates compounding. Okay. You got the reason why you will hear me say the most important advice you will ever hear, ever. Routine is the key. Consistency sets you free. Routine is your key. Consistency sets you free. Now, um, why do I say that? I want you to think about everything. So before I start the show, I have because you guys know I have a 5-minute memory, so I have a checklist for everything. I have a pre and post show checklist right here. And so one of the things, or there's two things on here that I do. One is exercise. So before I do anything, I'm exercising. Okay. But my routines actually start as soon as I wake up in the morning. So there are actually really, really unique things that I do, but compounded over time is what builds those habits. And I think I told you guys before, but Warren Buffett was famous for saying that the chains of habit are too light to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken. Mic effing drop. Ready? Pen drop. Mm-hmm. Chains of habit are too light to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken. It, are you guys done? You probably just need to go ahead and turn the damn show off because, again, your job's to only learn 1% today. And I think you've already learned 3% today. And I'm not even like 20 minutes into the show. Okay. Now, you understand what I'm saying, right? Everything in your life is about building a routine. Okay. And remember, right? So systems over goals. Scott Adams, my boy, right here. Systems over goals. Everything. So during the day, like I flow with a lot of people that are on the computer all day long, including me. And so all day long, as soon as I finish the show, you'll see that you won't see this, but I'll do some quick exercise, and then I have a 1 hour timer set. And this timer is set, and it goes off every single hour. I reset it every hour, and it just says move. And by the way, because I sit so much, I have to. In my mind, I spend so much of my time like dreaming and visioning other places. Like I'm not usually here present. Okay, I'm usually somewhere in the future. And because of that, I get lost mentally in what I'm doing in my tasks. And so I can easily go 8, 10 hours other than going to the bathroom and not drink water, not exercise, not moved. Right. And so for me, I do an hour. And here's the thing. I'll be in a meeting and my timer will go off. And I'm like, that's cool with me. And nobody knows what it's for, but I'm sitting there, bro. I'm not even kidding. I will do something when I'm sitting. And you guys know I drive a lot between the offices. And so when it goes off while I'm driving, bro, I'm going to be a little transparent with you. I'll do Kegels. Okay. Like I move my body. Okay. I know that's only supposed to be for women, but I got to do something when I'm driving and I can't move around. But usually if I'm sitting at a desk, I jump down and I got some push-ups. I've got a little sit-up pad that kind of does a little arch in the back. I'll knock out 10 to 20, whatever. Okay. So remember, routine is your key. Consistency sets you free. Okay. Now, let's talk about some more Bizzo news today. Okay. How about this? Are you guys ready for this? Okay. All right. Here's the title: 1099 NEC reporting threshold rises to 2,000. Okay. So now we talk about this regularly, but we're right in the middle of tax season. And this is the reason why this is relevant to you, because you guys know that for years, you as a mom and pop venti shop have been petrified that this is going to be the year that you have to start 1099ing every human being that you pay $600 to or more. And by the way, um, that law has been around for, I think, about 10 years. And every year it just keeps getting pushed back. But now, effective this week, the IRS has officially raised that reporting threshold to $2,000. Okay. And I told you guys this before. Anytime you see government do stuff like this, where they make it $600 and they don't put a minimum employee count, then what you clearly have here is the people that work in the kingdom, that live in the castle, that are protected with this, 50-foot, a 10-foot thick wall. Those people never walk out of the gates of the castle and tromp down the hill into the village where the peasants are, and they don't hang out with them. They don't. And so when you see stupid stuff like this, and again, we don't do politics here on the show, and we don't do red or blue. Red we do for Good Friday, and blue we do for Magical Monday, but we don't do it for politics. Okay, I don't care what you believe or what side you are on. I believe in people first. Okay, and I can tell you, as a mom pop venti shop owner for most of my career, I have been railroaded. I have been abused. I have been neglected. I have been ignored. And I am not saying that the current administration does not have an elitist, authoritarian type of vibe. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is me as a mom pop venti shop owner, it feels different. I feel like finally somebody, and by the way, when I say finally somebody, I'm talking for like the last 12 years ish, at least 12. Okay. I can tell you that I don't feel as though somebody's been really looking out for me. but I feel like they're doing that now. And when you see tiny little things like this is not a big deal to any person on planet Earth except for us mom and pop venti shop owners, because this little law saves us an enormous amount of money and red tape, because either we were going to do it, which means we weren't going to do it, and we stick that task on the round to a pile, which means by the time we get to it, there's always a penalty of interest and a fine that we have to pay because we waited past the deadline, or we have to pay a firm more money to do this for us, even though this has 0% to do with us making money. Like zero. It's purely about red tape and about Uncle Sam being able to track more and more of your money. Okay, that's all it is. It's not good nor bad. It's just what it is. Okay. What else is going on in the news today, my beautiful peeps? Daily Stoic. You know what? I love Stoicism, I think is what it's called. Tim Ferriss, my boy. I've been a raving fan of him since the very first launch of 4 Hour Work Week, which had to be, man, what, 20 years ago? And he's always been a big dude on minimalism and stoicism. And so when I saw this, I thought, you know what? Somebody wants to hear this. So here's the 5 Stoic truths that the sooner you realize, the easier your life will be. Are you ready to get 1% smarter? You can't control everything. It's not about you. Stop taking things personally. Know that you know nothing. The people you hang out with will determine your success. Most suffering is self-inflicted. Come on. Did that just hit somebody? That hit you, didn't it? It hit me, man. When I read that, I was like, I gotta share. I gotta share. Like, I can't be the only one that like gets excited about that, right? So, what else is going on in the news? Okay. Here's a biggie. Wait a minute. What's that freaking song, dude? I can't help it, man. I listen to it like all the time. Like, are you ready? Like, I was about to do it. Okay, here you go. Number 2 song. Ready? There we go. Wait a minute. Get it how you live it. Okay. All right. Now, this story, okay, I was like, come on now. Get it while you get it. Get it while you. Okay, I don't even know how it goes. Where's this freaking lyrics? Yeah. Wait a minute. Get it how you live it. 10 toes in when we standing on business. I'm a big stepper. Come on, people. All right, here's the story. The employer provided childcare credit sky freaking rockets. Okay. Under the new OBBA, right? OBBA, One Big Beautiful Bill Act. The credit for small businesses providing childcare assistance to employees has jumped from 25 to 50% of eligible costs. This is enormous. It's one of the biggest costs that we struggle with and suffer from as mom and dads that have kids, that both of us have to work to maintain a basic, I say basic, standard of living. And so childcare goes up every year by like 10%. It's just mind bending how they get away with this. And people have to pay it, man. We have to pay it. And here's the thing, for small businesses, you get what you reinforce, right? And so you guys hear me talk about this all the time, the 3 Ps of primal existence: pain, pleasure, pattern, recognition. And so when we do things, organizations do things that that are painful, we tend to stay away from that. When things are when we have pleasure, then we want to repeat that. Okay. Same thing here. Like, you're going to get right what you enforce or reinforce. And this is a really good thing for mom and pop businesses. So if we're trying to encourage mom and pop owners and businesses to offer the same type of benefits that, let's say, the big boys do, big co, okay, well, then these businesses have to be incentivized. They do not, listen to me, they do not have one extra dollar, okay, of extra money. So you've got to incentivize the crap out of the mom and pop venti shops for them to say, yes, we're going to do this. It's not all owners want to do this, but if it doesn't make sense financially for them, most of them are not. Okay. So good on you, current administration. Good on you. Okay. All right. What else is going on in the news today? Big stepper, 10 toes in when we're standing on business. Okay. In Forbes, should you take the standard deduction or itemize on your 2025 taxes? Now, how about this? You guys know I do this stuff with you guys live and in real time. Okay. Here it is. Forbes recently put out this article. Okay. Okay. Here's the summary coming your way. You guys know we do this live from Texas. It's B for B. All right, here we go. All right, choosing the deductions. Okay, here we go. 2025, the IRS increased. We already know this. Deduction amounts to 15,750 for single filers and 31,500 for married couples filing jointly. Okay, so most taxpayers benefit from the standard deductions due to its simplicity, and we know that was actually all changed. Trump term 1.0 simplified that, raised the standard deductions, and literally almost nobody minimized. I mean, the amount of money that saved individuals not having to pay people to do taxes was crazy. Okay. Now, you should consider itemizing if your total qualified expenses, like your mortgage, interest, charitable donations, healthcare, state and local taxes, blah, blah, exceed 7.5% of your AGI. Okay. Then it surpasses their standard deduction. Okay. So, and you guys know we do taxes. So anytime we do this, we always do both side by side for you guys. And by the way, this is a great freaking segue into this because if you guys need help, and I know you do, because we all do, man. And not only that, unlike from 30 years ago, we suffered from paralysis with no information. Now we basically suffer from paralysis by analysis because we have too much information, right? And so for you guys, man, like I know you're stuck, and I know you don't know which way to turn. Do I do this first or this first? We are here for you, okay? We're here. It's ministry for you guys, okay? We want to help you guys suffer less. Okay. There's two ways to get to us. You can get to us with businessforbreakfastradio.com. Ask a question, right? Or a business idea. You guys know Tuesdays is Tactical Tuesday, and I build a service companies for you from an idea under $1,000, and I will build you the entire model. So literally, if you go to my Tuesday show from this week, go grab the transcript and go at the very end. We talk about I built a senior concierge driving service business. Go grab it. Go grab the transcript and go have AI build you the business plan and go start it. And you will have it all done for under $1,000. We will do it every week. Okay. And so we do the same thing for taxes. Okay. So I know you guys have questions about this stuff. We can help you. Speakwithaaron.com, submit a question or business idea, whatever. I'll reply back, read it on air, or you can hit me up at speakwithaaron.com, speakwithaaron.com. That's aaron.com. Okay. Now, why don't we get back into some juice and news, shall we? Juice and news. Come on now. Oh, okay. This was in the news in last week. CNBC was reporting Pinterest CEO Bill Ready, who, by the way, if you just imagine a Gerber baby, like literally like one that you would see like on the front of a Gerber baby food container. Okay. And then I want you to glue a bunch of pubic hair all over its face. Okay. We'll call it beard hair, but it doesn't really look like beard hair. But just imagine that. Now go look. You can't unsee what I'm telling you right now. Okay. And this dude, the reason why I said the P word, right, instead of the B word, okay, on the type of hair is because he is acting like a freaking moron. Okay. So listen to this. This dude rebuked staffers. Okay, so who created? It's not him. It's the business. Okay, and they created an internal tool. Okay, to track layoffs at the company and fired those involved. Okay, so here it is. This what they did to me is so egregious. Okay, so it says here there's a clear line between constructive debate and behavior that's obstructionist. This is Ready said at a company-wide meeting last week, according to the audit obtained by CNBC. Okay, so here's the thing, though. You I know. You don't get these tools created unless the guy at the top signs off on it. Did you hear me? Did you hear me? It's humanly impossible for something like this that is that unique for somebody, because you have to understand, to pull this off requires resources, money, people, talent, okay? And the highest decision maker in the entity is the only one that can authorize that. And what happened here is internal people found out, and this dude decided to throw them under the bus. This is what it looks like to me. Just giving you my opinion, okay? Instead of him saying, "You're right, we screwed up," he decided to play the blame game. What? What? How dare you guys create a tool that I had no idea we were doing? What? Oh my God. You are so repulsive to me. I can't even look at you right now. You've got to go. Get gone, playa. Get gone. Are you insane right now? Are you insane? Somebody deserves a giant letter M for moron. And if you go look at this dude's face, boy, that if that ain't a dude who blames the entire world, takes credit for everything done right and blames everybody else for things done wrong. Go look at your boy, Gerber baby beard. That's all you got to know. Okay. What else is going on in the news today, my beautiful peeps? Oh, this is big. Last week, this is big. This is big. Okay. Supreme Court cleared California to use its new congressional map that favors Democrats during this year's midterm election. Now, you guys know we don't talk about politics, but I think this is huge because where politics plays into mom pop venti shops comes down to specifically when we're talking about business. And typically, blue leaning states, cities, counties tend to be less favorable to mom pop venti shops. And again, I am very, very careful to never, ever, ever say anything. I've been independent for, I don't know, 15, 20 years. So I don't actually pick sides. But when things like this happen, I want you to understand what's happening right now that just got approved by the Supreme Court. Okay. California has an exodus of business that California has never seen in the history of its state ever. Right behind it is going to be New York, okay, because of the shenanigans they pulled against business in the last 4, 8 years ish, 10 years. But California, and these decisions that are making are permanent decisions that take decades and decades and decades to fix. And again, the reason why nobody cares is because the people that are doing this are thinking only of themselves, and they don't give a rip about you, okay? Because they know when this has to be dealt with, they've been out of office for decades, man. Yeah, decades. Yeah, no, it is, bro, if you can't tell, I get really, really worked up when good people get taken advantage of. No, I lose my fucking mind. I can't stand it. And to see the mom and pops, to see how hard they fucking work. Oh no, bro. Oh no. No. And you do shit like this where you understand you just signed your death certificate, California. You just signed it. You understand what you just did because now you did the map, which means that you now have even more dominated one party domination that is squarely against mom pop venti shop. Against. So not because I don't love the state. I was born in San Diego, playa. I got parents in the Navy. Okay. No. What you're doing is inexcusable. What you're doing, there's going to be a reckoning, not revenge. Listen to me. Listen, you remember the very end of the tombstone. This is not revenge. This is going to be a reckoning for you, California. And I'm not done yet because we haven't even got to the wealthiest people on earth who are also leaving because of your new wealth tax. I'm telling you, man, you don't know, bro. You know, Zuck just bought a $200 million house in Florida, right? Zuck. Yeah, boy's gone. He ain't the only one. You know, Elon left. You know, a lot of these people left, man. A lot of these people left, dude. California, you have no concept what you're doing. And because you're trying to play the popularity game like you're in high school today, and you have no concept of the no, let me take that back. You're not idiots. You're not. No. You know exactly what you're doing. And that just proves that you are either unbelievably dumb or you are quite literally evil. It can only be one of the two. Because if you're dumb, I can give you a little bit of credit because ignorance, okay, I kind of get that. It's a little bit of blissful. But if you know what you're doing and you know that you're literally digging a hole that can't be get out of and you don't care because you're all about you and your friends getting what you get, oh no. Oh, that's just evil. That's just evil, right? And it happens every day, everywhere, man. It's just the way it is, right? What else is going on in the news today? I saw this. It was about the Olympics. The Wall Street Journal was reporting on this. It said Olympic snowboarders like Matty Mastro testing a new AI model developed by Google DeepMind. They're getting insight into how their bodies move. I'm going to tell you guys something that happened today. Today, you guys know I'm up by 3 or 4 every morning, and then I start prepping for the show. It's like I call it me time, and it's the only time that I have. As soon as I wake up, I just let my mind and wander. It's like letting the dog out to go to the bathroom, but you got like a 5-acre backyard. So as soon as I wake up, I just let my dog out and let him go to the yard. Okay, and whatever the hell he wants to do, whatever he wants to dig up, I just don't care. I let him do his thing. Okay, because that's where my brain is, and he will throw a tantrum if I don't let him out to go wander the 5 acres first thing in the morning. So let him out, let the brain do its thing. And today, check this. I found 2 things that are going to completely revolutionize business with AI. Okay. Number 1, I just did it today. Today, I went in and some guy, I was on TikTok and he was talking about how you can use like one of your normal, like, sort of like just take like crappy headshots of yourself here, like the quarter and the half, but on both sides. Okay. And then load the pictures up. Okay. And here's, dude, I have an entire prompt. This guy wrote a prompt, okay, that literally will take these pictures and then you go and find on images, Google Images, a professional headshot that you like, that you're like, I dig that. Listen, AI will now take that photo and make it freaking look like you just paid 10 grand for a photo shoot. I swear to God, I swear to you, right now, if you go to my my YouTube page, which you know is like youtube.com for, it's like Aaron Novinger, at Aaron Novinger. Okay. Go look at the photo. Go look at it. I just uploaded it today. Bro, the one I had before, if you can go the Wayback Machine, just go back last week and look at my headshot. I had a headshot. I had a couple years ago, Rebecca and I had some like photos made for headshots. I took those, fed it into AI, and go look and see what it spit out. It impressed the hell out of me. You see what AI is doing. It's replacing about, for me, it's at least $20,000 a month of professional services that I do not have to pay for. At least. I save at least $250,000 a year. At least. And not having to, like just this, the photographer, all the consulting, all the legal, all the advice. Bro, it's, and all the stuff I go to it for are expensive consulting services. Okay? I'm not kidding. The second thing that I did, because now another guy was on TikTok was like, look, there's a new format that you must start formatting your website into. You got to get it out of the HTML because it's too heavy. And so what everybody's doing is, where is it? AI content for business. Okay, so it's you're using LLMs.txt files. So it's the LLMs.txt implementation plan. And what it does, it optimizes your website for all of the AI crawlers, which we know the OG chat, right? Claude, Perplexity, Grok, Gemini, all the big boys, okay? What it does, though, it provides what they call like a clean pipe data path, right? With markdown mirrors and protocols. Really freaking cool, man. But you've got to know this stuff. And the reason why you got to know it is because, do you actually think the big boys are going to do this? Maybe. But remember, nobody knows about this. No one. You know the purpose of this show is to give you guys that edge. So you guys do what? Dominate your market and double your profits. That is the only reason why we're here, helping you dominate your market and double your profits. That is why we do what we do. You need to be encouraged. You need to be inspired. You need to learn a little bit. And this is what we're doing every second of the day, right? And for you guys, it's the same thing. You guys need help with this. I know. I spent my entire life not having help, man. I spent my entire life. Now I've got what I call my three pops. I've got my three pops that taught me the most important lessons in life. But all my business lessons, I had parents in the Navy, bro. My mom, my natural dad, and my adopted dad were all air traffic controllers in the Navy. So yes, I grew up with the greatest life. You have no concept of what it's like growing up in a tower in the 80s. Crawling that tower, Pops is behind me. Adopted dad, adopted when I was 5 years old. Greatest man alive. And yeah, I'm actually writing a book called Lessons from Pops. And crawling that tower and that popping that door open of that air traffic control tower. And then you just get hit with a beautiful, beautiful fog of cigarette smoke because in the 80s, it was nothing but the diet for the Navy all the way up until I think the 90s was 2 pack cigarettes a day and a pot of coffee. Like that was the Navy diet, playa, right? And so, but when it comes to dads and it comes to this, I'm telling you, man, like having this there for you guys, I kind of feel like we all need this, right? We need that help. We need that coaching. We need that accountability. We need dad, man. We need dad. Maybe, maybe that's why I did it, man. Maybe that's why I did it. Maybe I'm doing this because both my dads have passed away. And I just feel like somebody needs a dad. I do. You are the hardest working person on earth. And I'm talking to you, mom, pop, venti shop owner. And I just feel like we don't have a dad. This show is for you because of this. And so you guys know when I wake up every day, all I do is look and find things that um, I can apply today. And I just kind of figured, look, man, I'm just everybody. I'm just everybody. I feel like if I need it, we all need it. You know what I'm saying? And so, uh, I the stuff that I'm kind of sharing with you guys, I feel like for some of you guys, it's not just a little bit of knowledge getting smarter. I feel for a lot of you guys, you get to hear dad. And to be honest with you, January 13th, 2026 is when my third pops passed away, Scott Adams. And you don't know what it's like being able to every single day. 'Cause- come on now. Come on, come on, come on. In 2007, my mom called me one day and she said, I talked to your dad. And you have to understand, I never met my natural dad. My mom got pregnant when she was 19. She was in the Navy. And then my natural dad got stationed to the Philippines. And when he came back, my mom was married, not to my adopted dad, but to my sister's dad. They were married for a year or two, got divorced, and then mom married my adopted dad, Keith. And so in 2007, now you have to understand, my parents, my mom, my adopted dad, divorced in the 90s. Okay. And so in '07, mom calls me one day and says, hey, I talked to your dad. And I said, what? Like, and I literally said, what'd you guys fight about? Because I thought she was talking about adopted dad. And, and she said, no, I talked to your real dad, George. And I said, what? Like my mom felt in her spirit that she needed to go find him for me. And you have to understand, a male that's adopted is a little different than a female that's adopted. Males that are adopted have uh, we tend to be a little bit more loyal, and so usually a male doesn't feel a release to go find their natural parents until the adoptive parents pass away. And so, but in '07, mom calls and says, "Hey, I talked to your dad. What'd you guys fight about?" No, no, your real dad, George. Wow. Okay. And so he wants to talk to you. I said, okay, cool. So we ended up talking, and it was like long lost like friends reuniting. It was like, and within I don't know, within a month, I flew out there, met his wife Donna, married for 35 years, 5 great kids. I've got 5 half siblings, and they're just fantastic. And 3 years after I met him, I get a call from my half sister, and she says, um, "Dad was tragically killed April 23rd, 2010. It was a Saturday. He was pitching in softball, and Dad loved softball. And so she called me and said he passed away. It's a Saturday night. He's an organ donor. So if you want to say your goodbyes, you need to be here tomorrow, which is Sunday, because he goes for surgery Monday morning." My wife and I were at a restaurant in Fort Worth having dinner with some friends. I just lost it. We had to leave. And so he passed away in 2010. 6 years later, um, my natural dad passed away. Pops. Pops. And I always called him Pops because he hated to be called Pops. So therefore, he was always called Pops. And I, when he passed, it took me, I don't know, it took me a couple years to kind of process that. And then, because he was such a great human being. You know, he was not my natural dad, so it wasn't like he and I had that same relationship that my little brother and him had, who's his natural son. But to be a great dad and teach me all the important lessons in life, and to be, there wasn't one time I talked to Pops and he didn't make me laugh. He was just jovial, man. And he was like an old farm dude. So every saying he said was like one of those old farm sayings, like, you better be able to eat that damn pig if you're gonna. I don't even know what he said, but he was just funny like that. And then about a year after Pops passed, my good friend DJ said, Scott Adams has a daily show called Coffee with Scott Adams. And I said, you've got to be kidding me, bro. I said, that doesn't make any sense to me because um, I've been literally Scott's oldest, um, longest running fan since the 90s. Because a lot of you guys know in the 90s, late 90s, I owned a men's accessory store in a local mall. And so I sold boxers, socks, suspenders, stuff like that. And by a mile in the 90s, I would sell 5-to-1 Dilbert compared to anything else. And so from literally the late 90s, I've been obsessed with Scott Adams and Dilbert. But you understand that these minds that can stay relevant for decades, like Matt Groening with The Simpsons, their brains aren't normal. They're not normal. And they tend to masquerade in public doing simple things like drawing cartoons, right? Those end up being the people that change the world. I don't know if you know this, but they tend to be oracles. Okay. Scott is the verified best predictor of world events. You won't find another human being on earth that predicted more accurately world events as a cartoonist. Same thing with Matt Groening, because these people can see the world in a lens that you can't see it. And so I started listening to Scott Adams every single day from that moment. And I have listened to every one of his shows. You guys know that I do an annual bike ride called Pedaling Against Ponzi's. And my wife and I started this years ago because obviously you guys know we do accounting. And I've sat across the table from so many of these victims. And man, you can't unsee the pain that's caused by a walking piece of trash who steals somebody's retirement. You don't know what that's like. And so, because I've been haunted by these amazing, amazing families every year, and I'm actually training right now for the third annual Pedaling Against Ponzi's bike ride. And I have to start. It's 2,000 miles. I leave this year. I'm going to leave April 16th, the day after tax season, obviously. And it takes me about 6 weeks to get all the way to DC. And what I usually do every year is I won't listen to Scott Adams for about a month, and I save all those podcasts because they're about an hour long, and I save them all, and then I'll listen to them. And this year's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough because Pops isn't with me. My third Pops, Scott Adams. He passed away January of this year, and so I want to be that for you guys. My dads, my pops, um, Keith, Buddy Pilgrim, Scott Adams, my three pops. You men have no idea the lives that you've changed. My dad was a chief in the Navy. I was so proud of him. He accomplished everything he wanted in life, man. Everything. He wanted to be a chief, man. He was a man of the people, for the people, and of the people. They asked him to keep going up in leadership, and he said no because he wanted to be the connecting point. Bet- My dad was like Moses, man. He would interact with, you know, the hierarchies, but then he was the guy that would talk to the people. And those men really changed my life. And and I tell you, the theme for us on Fridays is Good Friday, and it's really a day of just remembrance of those that change your life. And you guys know, I wear my 6 WWJD bracelets, and the very first one you can kind of see there, it's red. Okay, so you guys can kind of see it; it's red. We know that that's for obviously my main boy Jesus, and I can't tell you how grateful I am for my dad, for Buddy Pilgrim, and for Scott Adams. And Buddy Pilgrim, this guy, he's been one of my closest mentors. You have no idea how this man has changed my life. He started a ministry years ago called Executive Integrity Leadership, and these are all his. This is back in the day when he was doing audio cassettes, and so I wanted to just take some time today and just thank my pops, my 3 different pops. Keith, it took me a couple years, bro, for me to be able to make peace that you were gone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Buddy Pilgrim, for a guy that is in your position should not be talking to a guy like me ever, ever. Thank you for the years and years and years that you poured into me, bro. And Scott Adams, um, every day the reframes. My brain is different be- because of you. Life is less chaotic because of you. You taught me how to analyze, how to predict because of you. Damn it. It's Good Friday. It's Good Friday, man. It's Good Friday. Today is the day that you sit and you set a freaking 1 hour timer. Not even a 1 hour. Do a 1 minute timer when you're eating today. 1 minute timer right before you eat with the sole purpose of just being grateful. Thank that damn chicken as you're about to eat that Chick-fil-A sandwich. Damn straight. Think about that damn bird. Think about the life it had. Think about what it had to go through. So you're eating a delicious chicken sandwich. Something simple like that. 1 minute gratitude challenge today. That is the goal every Friday for Good Friday. Before you eat, I want you to set a 1 minute timer and just be thankful. Whew. Okay. I think we've done it enough. I think we've done it enough. Okay. Now, as we kind of close out, I you guys know I always finish out with a reframe from Scott Adams. And before the guy died, he wrote a book called How to Reframe Your Brain. And so I've chapter 7 is called The Operating System for Your Mind. And this reframe was so powerful for me. You don't even understand, bro. Like even a couple weeks before this dude passed away, I was literally like, he did a reframe and it changed my life. Like literally a few weeks before this dude passed away. I mean, he was changing my life all the way up until he passed. And this one was a big one for me. And again, it's chapter 7, How to Reframe Your Brain, Scott Adams. I find it useful to think of brains as having operating systems like computers. Your human operating system is your reflexive pattern for interacting with a new situation. You might layer some knowledge and experience on top of that operating system, but you will still be limited to what it allows you. There are 4 types of human operating systems I encounter most. And again, this is Scott talking. The first mindset or operating system, selfishness. And that's a person that takes whatever their mindset, I can take whatever I can get. And their mindset is others would do the same. Yep. The other operating system is the revenge operating system. The mindset, I need to revenge for all insults and offenses, both real and imagined. And we already know because we got a freaking little plankton from SpongeBob in our brain who's like, we will rule the world. And then, but like, we already know most of what he says is not even real. You got to get the dude out and put him on the table and realize this dude is about the size of a grain of rice. And When he's in your head, he's screaming really loud, but on the table, he's like, meow, 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 meow. Like he's so small, you know? And so most of the stuff that we are offended by is imagined. And I'm trying to tell you guys something to help you stop suffering. I want you to do this one thing for me, man. I want you to remember no matter how thin the pancake, it always got two sides. No matter how thin the pancake, it always got two sides. Okay. Reserve emotion for what you're about to feel until you catch the other side of the pancake. That alone will change your life. That alone will change your life. Here's the other operating system, the victim mindset. The mindset, I am being victimized by nearly everyone and can't do anything about it. I know lots of people like that. Their operating system is they're survivors, they're fighters, which means everything that has to be war for them. So something that's a normal, let's say like a level 2 issue for like somebody that has a normal, nervous system, if you will, to this type of person, this is a level 9 issue. It's a level 9 issue. And the fourth, which in my opinion is the operating system we should all be striving for, is the reciprocity operating system. It's the mindset, if I make myself useful, good things will come to me. And I'm telling you, Scott passed away January 13th. Actually, so that would be what? 1 month ago today. Scott passed away 1 month ago today. And his ex-wife, Shelly, who's running his estate, read a letter from Scott to all of his fans. And that was one of the main things he talked about is he has worked to be useful. And I want to tell you guys a little story. So in 2006, my close friend and mentor, Louis Quintana, he's a pastor and a registered nurse. And Rebecca and I, when our late 20s, early 30s, he and his wife, Elisa, were monumental in helping shape our lives. And Louis in 2006 called me into ministry. He said, bro, you got a calling. And I said, you got the wrong dude, man. That ain't me. I'm a dirty dude, bro. And he goes, if everybody was clean, there'd be nobody in ministry. And I was like, and Louis, I call my Hispanic Jesus. This bro literally only speaks in freaking parables, okay? And not only that, when you just look at him, the dude has like freaking Santa twinkly eyes, okay? Louis is just, he is nothing but pure heart and spirit and love, okay? He manifests this better than any human I've ever seen, okay? And Louis calls me into ministry in '06. I said, you know what? I trust you. And I decided at that moment to do something that changed my life. I decided to trust what Louis saw in me more than what I saw in myself because I never had strong self-esteem. I've always been independent. I've always been the dude that, like everybody goes this way, I go the other way. All the dogs are barking up this tree, I go this tree. But so I've been very confident in my uniqueness, but I've never really been confident in my abilities, if you will. And from that moment, I said, I trust you, Louis. I trust you. And I went into ministry. And within 3 years, I ended up being the small groups pastor of our church, also the volunteer coordinator, leading the two largest ministries in the church while running the practice. And 3 years in, I took Louis to lunch. This is around 2008, 2009. It was 3 years in. And I took him to lunch. And remember, Louis, like me, is also bivocational. So he was pastoring and he's also a registered nurse. And so I took him to lunch. I said, Louis, I want to do more of this weekend stuff, ministry stuff, and less of running the practice. And Louis said, when I first got in ministry years ago, I was struggling with the same thing. And he said, I took my mentor to lunch, and my mentor gave me the best definition of ministry I've ever heard. He said, don't think of ministry as in what you do in the weekend. First of all, Jesus did no ministering in the church, and he didn't. He was always with the people. I said, but think of ministry in its purest form as simply helping people suffer less. Simply helping people suffer less. And what Louis said is, what he realized is that what he did in the hospital was actually more ministry than what he was doing at the church. And I realized what we do in the practice is more ministry than what I was doing at the church. And said it another way, helping people suffer less. Said it another way, be useful. Be useful. If you run and own a service-based business, do you know how easy it is to transform your mission about making money, which is the most hollow thing on earth. It's like eating a freaking bland rice cake. That's chasing dollar bills. And you got to chase the dollar bill and eat it, and you're freaking hungry again. You got to eat another dollar bill, and you got to. I mean, it's just rice cakes and dollar bills are the same, man. There is no substance, and they're all hollow. Okay, I'm going to quote one of the greats: "Those that want to be rich never will be. Money only follows contribution. Money only follows contribution. Be useful and develop an audience. That's it. Be useful and develop an audience." And the purpose of this show is to honor the legacy of Scott Adams, to be useful. And the reason I was telling you about my pops is because I feel like this show, for some of you guys, is your pops. Um, the same pops that poured into my life. I want this to be the same thing for you guys. And if you guys need help with anything, man, like you need that accountability. You need your own executive council, your own personal board of directors, right? You know that we have open source peer advisory groups always available to you, and you don't have to be one of our accounting clients. But if you have questions about stuff, I got this business I want to start. What about bookkeeping? What about taxes? What about payroll? I've got this idea. I've been stuck. I don't know what step one is. Man, let us help you. Let us be helpful and be ministry for you. Let us help you suffer less. Okay. And there's two ways to get to us: businessforbreakfastradio.com. Submit a question or a business idea that you have. And you guys know every Tuesday is Tactical Tuesday. And I build business plans for you guys under $1,000. I'll build you a service-based business. I can do it. You can give me the idea, and I've been doing this for so many years. I can literally build it for you while we're talking. And then it takes me usually about a day to massage it out, and I will literally build you your cash flow plan to your first dollar. And so if you guys have questions about that, you can get to us, businessforbreakfastradio.com, or speak directly with me at speakwithaaron.com. That's speakwithaaron.com. That's aaron.com. Okay. Now, boy, I did not know. I knew it was going to be Gratitude Friday. I knew that, but I did not know that I was going to be going that deep about my pops and my dads, and how grateful I've been, and how that really the fourth operating system that Scott was talking about, of reciprocity, of how it literally will transform your life. And it's completely transformed my life. Okay. And I just kind of felt like that this would, I don't know, it was speaking to me, and like speaking to my spirit. I kind of felt like it would do the same thing for you. But I promised you guys what? It would be the best business for breakfast you've ever seen. And did I lie? No, no. I guarantee you guys know I've done 25 of these already. Okay. And you can go back and listen to all of them, and you won't find one as good as this. I know. Okay. But guys, remember all the stuff we talk about. If you think that it's hard or you think that it's easy, you're right. Okay. Guys, I don't want you just working in your business. Make sure you're minding your own business. Okay, my beautiful people, you got the news. You got the tips and tricks. Now you go own this freaking day. I'm your host, Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, and you guys know what freaking time it is. What time is it? Oh my word, guys. It's time. Time to get to work. Kapow!